Elegant Winter Try-On Haul, a 2024 lookbook. So today's video is a big winter haul where I've shopped at a few of my favourite brands, a little bit at Sézane, Arket and Other Stories. So hopefully there's something for everybody's different tastes and budgets. First up, I headed to And Other Stories. It's a brand that I really love, but actually it's one that I haven't shopped at for quite a while. So when I saw their new collection, I had to do a little bit of a shop because there's some beautiful, beautiful pieces in store. So my first piece at And Other Stories would be this quite simple but really interesting with those little details black V-neck cardigan. Now, as And Other Stories do so well, this has been made from responsibly sourced wool. It's actually merino. I really like the yarns they use, and actually they make a really big effort to use very sustainable fabrics all round. So as I mentioned, it's quite minimalistic in design with that simple V-neck, but what I thought was a really nice detail and made this cardigan stand out, for me at least, compared to the rest, was those sharp shoulder pad details. Now it's kind of ticking one of the fashion trends that we saw with that sort of power shoulders, a little bit 80s vibe, but then with the simplicity of the cardigan, it's also kind of ticking that 90s minimal vibe at the same time. Those sharp shoulders not only help to give your body a little bit more of an hourglass shape, but it also helps to make a very simple outfit idea look a little bit more interesting. So for example, if I was to wear this cardigan with a pair of straight leg jeans, for instance, your eye is then drawn to those shoulders. It's quite an interesting and quite prominent detail to pair with something everyday like your jeans on your bottom half. You've kind of got boss vibes going on with those shoulders, but in a really simple and quite sophisticated way. So following on from that quite minimal looking cardigan, I then opted for this midi skirt. Now what drew me to this midi skirt in the first instance was when I saw it, I could imagine styling it in two quite distinct ways, which kind of tick two different fashion trend boxes this season. So first of all, you could either go quite 90s minimal style with it, pair it with a white shirt just knotted very simply at the waistband in a kind of Carolyn Bessette Kennedy kind of sophisticated fashion. And then on the flip side of that, you could style it in a way that ticked the hourglass fashion trend instead. Go a tiny bit more sexy with the look, but obviously in a really understated way. Sort of nip in that waist, maybe exaggerate it a little bit more with a belt to sort of really draw the eye to that area and just make the most of those curves that the skirt is naturally giving. I love the fit of this one. I think it's such a beautiful shape. And although I don't actually add a lot of skirts into my own wardrobe, this is the sort of thing that when I see it, I feel like I should. I feel like I should give it a go and try it and see if I can make it work with all my other pieces. So next up at And Other Stories, I went for what is a really simple, quite staple piece, but one that I thought they'd added that sprinkle of elevation to. So as you can see, it's just a classic grey sweatshirt, which is actually available in black too, actually, if you prefer. But what I love about this is that fold detail that they've done at the shoulders. Now that makes it almost look like you've got a very thin or quite small looking shoulder pad in there, giving you that sharp shoulder shape, but it also has the ability, because it's quite wide here, it's almost making a V shape down to your waistband, which makes this area look a little bit smaller. It's just an illusion really of how the shape of the sweater is made. And when I saw this, I was kind of thinking, oh, that would be really handy just as an everyday kind of outfit when I just want to wear my jeans, my trainers and a jumper, but I want to elevate that look a touch more, add a little special something. And it's those little details with something like that fold on the shoulders that enable you to do that. Now this one has been made from organic cotton, so again, nice and sustainable, and it's coming in at under £60, so nice and affordable, but also you're getting that quality for your money as well. And last but not least, at And Other Stories, I decided to treat myself to a pair of their slim cut jeans. Now, I was always a really big fan of And Other Stories' favourite cut jeans. And when I popped in store a couple of months ago, I was talking to a lady that worked there, and she said that the favourite cut has now just changed name to being the slim cut. So I knew that these jeans were a really nice shape. I've got them in like a grey wash kind of tone already. But what I was missing for my own wardrobe and wanting to fill that gap of a really nice dark indigo pair of jeans. They've got a little bit of stretch in there, which I just find helpful for when you're washing them. It helps to keep the shape and obviously a little bit extra comfort as well. I do find darker jeans can be a little bit more sophisticated and elegant looking, certainly a bit smarter than some of my light blue wash jeans that I've got, perhaps for those outfits that I want to feel a little bit more elevated and sophisticated. But if you do like the shape as well, they have got a whole selection of them in different colors as well. So lots of different ones to choose from if you like that shape too. Now, a bit of a last minute addition in this winter try on haul, but I bought myself one gorgeous pair of Shirling lined boots in the sales. Now, I've wanted a pair of these for so very long. In fact, I've wanted them since Isabel Marant bought out her snow boot, do you remember? But they're quite pricey, so I've been on the hunt across the high street to see if I could find a pair. And I found these in the sale and I absolutely love them. Now, I know they're going to be a bit of a Marmite piece, but personally, they are exactly what I was looking for. So I wanted the Shirling lining so it kept your feet really toasty, but also I like the look of that on the outside. I know it's not hugely practical going for them in cream, but in my defense, the sole is obviously the gum sole, and then this is leather here. So if it did get a little bit dirty, that's going to wash off. That probably not so much, but it is faux fur. So I am thinking I could probably wash that down a little bit. So I shall add a link to those in the description box below, but also I shall add a link to all the others that were sort of in my wish list of the contenders I thought of. So you might prefer one of those styles instead, but they're super comfy and they're probably the most practical pair of winter boots I have ever bought, as they are obviously going to see me through winter with very cozy feet. Now, is anyone else particularly loving velvet at the moment? I absolutely love it. And I've wanted to add a velvet suit into my wardrobe for a very long time. Now, I actually already had the perfect velvet blazer in my wardrobe that I bought from Suzanne, actually. But kind of stupidly, on a night out, my friend tried it on and she looked so lovely in it that I just said, will you keep it? I didn't have the heart to take it back off her. So I've been looking for one ever since, and thankfully Suzanne then brought out this beautiful version. Now, the other thing, of course, that I particularly love about this one is that gorgeous tone of navy that they've used. The one that I had before was black, and actually I find I wear more navy these days, so this is probably meant to be. This is even better. Now, obviously, as a combination of wearing it as a suit together, I think it looks beautiful. It looks very streamlined, but equally I would never discount the trousers or the blazer within this outfit idea to mix and match with the other pieces I've got in my wardrobe. So I would definitely wear velvet trousers with a nice chunky knit as much as I would pair it with a blouse and do something a little bit more of a pretty edge. And then obviously I am absolutely going to be wearing that blazer styled with my jeans. I think that will probably become a bit of a go-to look. So not only am I really excited to have a lovely new suit in my wardrobe, but just two really beautiful pieces that I know I can make lots of outfit ideas with that gorgeous navy tone as well. So next up in this winter lookbook for 2024, to a jumper that some of you might remember I've been talking about adding into my wardrobe for a little while, and that would be this gorgeous caramel one. Now, this is quite a classic timeless knit that we've seen Suzanne do again and again in a couple of different tones. I love it so much, I've already got it in the navy and the ecru. In fact, one of my subscribers got in touch and she said, oh, I've just bought the caramel. That's how I found it on their website. And I thought, oh gosh, I've just placed an order and I didn't see it. So anyway, I'm very, very happy to finally have this one in my wardrobe. This knit, because it's made from 100% organic cotton, not only feels really lovely against my skin, but I find it's become like a bit of an everyday go-to knit for me. And to be honest, on top of that, I just love the look of these. Yes, of course, it is just a very classic crew neck jumper, but as Suzanne do so very well, they've elevated it with that shoulder detail. You've got a little sprinkling of gold in there. It's made from organic cotton, which is always a nice plus. And actually the shape as well, I think they've done really nicely. It's quite a boxy square shape, so it doesn't ever feel too tight across the tummy or the chest portion, and yet the sleeves are just nice and slimline. It would look good with a long skirt, it would look good with tailored trousers, but I will no doubt end up wearing it with my jeans the most, I'm sure. Now, next up in this elegant try-on haul to something perhaps a little bit daring, but there was definitely a method to my madness. So I've chosen this absolutely gorgeous lace bodysuit. Now, my thinking with this one was particularly for some of my out looks. I like to wear a blazer, and particularly I absolutely love this tux one that I got from M&M, but trying to make it work without anything on underneath made me feel a bit uncomfortable. So for me, I needed a cami or a tank top of some description. But I thought a really nice and quite pretty, a little bit sexy way of doing that would be to add a touch of lace with a bodysuit. I did size up to a medium, where I would usually choose a small. I've got quite a long body, and so that would be my dilemma I often have with bodysuits. They never fit and I feel like I'm strapped in. So if you do equally have quite a long torso, I would advise sizing up to a medium, and that feels like it fits me perfectly. So I've been looking to add a fairly structured shirt to my wardrobe this winter. So next in this lookbook, I found one from Suzanne that has a really elevated edge to it, and plus it's something a little bit different for me. So this is a high neck white shirt with a Suzanne kind of style upgrade. You've got that high neck with the frills all around it, but then you've got that really lovely gold button detail at the neck. Now I don't often wear high necks, but there was something about this, maybe like a slight 70s edge, that really drew me in, and I wanted to try it out. So particularly actually styled with the velvet suit, I think that's a really nice look, as much as it will work quite dressed down with my jeans. I think it's going to be one of those crossover pieces I can wear in lots of different ways. And that front placket as well is hiding the other button, so that's nice and clean. It would make a really great option to wear for work, obviously, something for the office that's nice and elevated and quite smart looking. And even though I don't work in an office as such, this is definitely the sort of piece that helps me feel a little bit more elevated when I do want to get a bit more dressed up or smart casual kind of wear. And actually just finishes off my little Suzanne haul perfectly with some really beautiful pieces that I know over the coming months I'm going to be able to mix and match in lots of different ways. Now, I think you'll agree we are definitely into the thick of winter now. It's freezing outside, and I thought it was about time I added something big and chunky in the way of knitwear into my wardrobe that will tick a few boxes to make me feel chic and elegant, but will also just keep me snugly warm as well at the same time. So I added this absolutely gorgeous cable knit detail one that I found at Arket. Although it is available in a couple of different tones, which are, one second, I will check, black and dark blue, as it happens if camel is not your cup of tea. So it's made from 100% wool, and as Arket do very, very well, it's all certified by the RWS. Now it's got, as you can see, a very relaxed fit. Even those sleeves actually are quite wide in shape, nicely so, I would say. Now you could go a couple of different ways with the styling. Either follow that kind of relaxed fit nature of the jumper and carry that all the way through down to your toes, perhaps with like quite a wide leg trouser. That would make a really nice long column outfit. Or you could do a little bit of a contrast, keep it quite slimline on your bottom half as you've got quite an oversized look on the top. Personal preference really on the styling of that, but I shall probably end up doing both over the coming months. Now during the winter months, we all of course love having those really thick chunky knits to be able to reach for. However, it's actually really nice to add some variety into your own wardrobe and indeed your outfit ideas. So you can maybe think about opting for something a little bit delicate and airy and quite silk-like actually. Something like this beautiful top that I chose at Arket. Now this type of top will obviously not only provide quite a refreshing change from the usual winter attire of chunky knits and a pair of jeans in my case, but it will also add quite a touch of elegance and sophistication to your overall looks. And a little bit like the velvet suit that I showed you before, having two-piece outfits or co-ord sets is so handy, because then you find yourself mixing and matching and dressing them up, dressing them down in lots of different ways. They're a great investment piece. Now the wonderful thing about this particular blouse is that it's been made from one of my favorite sustainable fabrics, lyocell. Arket use this fabric a lot, which is definitely music to my ears, because not only is it really sustainable and obviously better for the planet, but it's got such a beautiful drape. Hopefully, as you can see in this footage, it looks like it's silk, but nowhere near got the price tag of silk. So as you've seen in this footage, you could very easily dress this top down a little bit, or indeed dress it up with tailored trousers if you prefer. You could layer a cardigan over the top and just have a little bit of that lyocell peeking out from underneath. Or like me, you could go for the full tonal look and go for the matching skirt as well. So made from that same beautiful lyocell fabric, it's got that gorgeous drape. In fact, it's very reminiscent of the two skirts that I bought from Arket last winter, the mole and the black, that I just wore again and again and again. It's a very similar shape to those ones, but obviously being in that very on-trend moody grey tone that we're going to see an awful lot of in spring-summer 2024. So not only will these pieces tick a box right now, albeit with my tights on underneath, I do think these will be great crossover pieces as we move into that warmer weather of spring-summer too. Now, staying with that quite elegant train of thought, I then added this absolutely beautiful cream blouse into my winter wardrobe. Now, I know it probably looks a little bit spring summery to wear now, but I was thinking more for evening time, pairing this with some lovely trousers and my heels. I thought that would make a really nice contrast. But also, as I often do when I'm shopping, even in winter, I'm kind of thinking ahead to what am I going to be wearing in spring, summer as well. Is there a way that I could tick a trend box now that will cross over and see me through and ultimately get as much wear out of those pieces as possible? And that was kind of my thinking with this particular blouse as well. I could absolutely see myself wearing it with some floaty trousers and some sandals on my feet. So it's going to tick a few different boxes, which is absolutely how I like to shop. Now again, like the grey on grey look I showed you before, this piece has been made from a blend of lyocell. But actually what they've done with this fabric is do like a crinkled effect, which kind of makes it look like it's raw silk. It's really beautiful actually. And I certainly think it looks a lot more expensive than it actually was, which is always a bonus. Now I didn't spot until just now, but they've got a pair of trousers that would make a matching set. And again, not only for now, obviously it's quite an elevated evening outfit with a nice pair of heels, but thinking ahead to spring, summer, that would look really beautiful with just a very simple pair of flat sandals. So definitely worth a look at their website at the moment. They've got some really, really beautiful pieces. So hopefully you agree today's winter try on haul has felt super elegant. I know I felt really elegant in all the outfit ideas. Do let me know your favorites in the comment section below. It's always really lovely to hear from you all. I'm particularly loving my velvet suit and also very, very impressed with the pieces at Arket at the moment. I'm really chuffed to have those in my own winter wardrobe. I am going to go tidy up my messy living room and get myself organized for the school run and throw on that camel coat again. I really hope you have a wonderful week ahead, everyone, and I shall see you in a couple of days with lots more styling advice and outfit ideas. I will see you then.